Good morning, everyone. I know that many of you are still eating, and please continue to enjoy the food, but we are going to get started with the program. I am Terry Johns from UWIW of Inner Wisconsin, and it is my pleasure to welcome you this morning to the 25th Annual Volunteer Recognition Breakfast. We have an exciting and inspiring program for you today, but I'd like to thank all of you first for all of the volunteer work that you do in our community and for making the greater Wisconsin Rapids area a much better place. So how about a round of applause for each of you for your work. I think each year we learn something new that's going on in the community, and as well connected as we all think that we perhaps are, when we hear about all the volunteers, we always learn about another program or another opportunity that there is in the community. So I encourage you to listen very intently, as you might find another interest that you could participate in the community. We have some fun activities planned for you today. One of those things is that we have a drawing at the end of the recognition breakfast. We've got some floral displays here, and we also have a foursome of golf donated by Bullseye Country Club. So if you would like to be part of those drawings, you had a little postcard size sheet. It says 25 reasons to give us your email at your seat, and so if you'd like to be in those drawings, you should fill out that card, and then someone will be around to pick that up from you. And now I would encourage you, if you have a cell phone, to pull out your phone and text, we've got it up there, text "give time" as one word. So you want to make sure your autocorrect doesn't fix it, but you would text "give time" to 51555. And this will put you in another drawing, but it will give us an opportunity to send you some volunteer opportunities throughout the year. So periodically, we will send you some statistics and some information about volunteering here in our community and what new opportunities that there might be. So give time to 51555. And I think that's in your program as well. Is that correct? Right inside the program, you can get that information. According to Hands On Network, which is a national volunteer organization dedicated to increasing volunteerism in local communities, the value of a volunteer of 1 hour of time is $22.14. So if you think about the time that you volunteer, each hour is worth over $22 to that organization that you're volunteering for. In Southwood and Adams counties, which is the areas that our United Way serves, we recorded 202,141 and a half hours for 2015. So when you do the math, that's over $4 million in value from the volunteer time that you have given. So you can see that you're making an investment in the community, and it's certainly worthwhile and priceless. And in case you're looking for more opportunities to get involved, at your table there is a little stand that has some cards in it, and those are current volunteer opportunities in our community. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to take the card and then contact Angie at the Volunteer Center to engage in that opportunity. So again, I thank you for your time, for your commitment, for being here this morning, and for really making sure that the agency that you give time to has you and has the opportunity to do even greater things because you are a volunteer. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Angie Laux, who is the director of the Volunteer Center. Angie?
Good morning. Can you hear me back there? Okay, I know sometimes I have a soft voice, so I want to make sure you can hear me. We had another busy year here at the Volunteer Center. But before I get into some statistics and exciting news I wanted to share with you, I wanted to get into the why. Why do we volunteer? To help explain, I would like to read an excerpt from a video entitled, "Why Do People Go Out of Their Way to Help Others?" Perhaps you've seen this floating around Facebook. Has anyone seen this one? It's really kind of a cute little video. But the text goes like this. Why do some people go out of their way to help others? What does he get in return for doing this day after day? He gets nothing. He won't be richer. He won't appear on TV. Still anonymous and not a bit more famous. But what he does get are emotions. He witnesses happiness, reaches a deeper understanding, feels the love, receives what money can't buy, a world made more beautiful. And in your life, what do you desire most? Today, one of the volunteer groups we will be honoring is the Learning for Life Reading Mentor Program, a program that I personally have volunteered for in the past 3 years, first at Meade School and now at Washington Elementary. I've watched children go from shy and quiet to excited to see me. They've gone from me reading to them reading to me. I've watched teachers go from skeptical to convinced. I've watched children with speech impediments improve their speaking and reading over the weeks and months. And why do I do it? So a little boy named Christopher can grow up to be a firefighter. Although yesterday I was informed that he now wants to be a police officer. Because he comes from a large blended family and doesn't always get the attention that he needs and deserves. Because my time spent with him really does make a difference. And because I'm greeted every week with the biggest smile you can imagine. That's what it's all about, human connections and making the world a better place. Imagine a world without us. How sad would that be? If my story has inspired you to get up and do something, then you're in luck. As you know, we usually hold the Volunteer Recognition Breakfast during National Volunteer Week, but this year we did not. National Volunteer Week will be April 10th through the 16th. We moved our breakfast because we've arranged some volunteer projects for National Volunteer Week. Instead of getting recognition during Volunteer Week, you get to roll up your sleeves and get dirty, literally. Here is a preview of what you can expect. At Meade Elementary Charter School, we got Becky Winter here. Can you stand up and show us where you are? We need volunteers to help clean the 20 community gardens by the school and prepare them for spring. We will need 4 teams of 2. We also need volunteers to do some deep cleaning inside the school. Volunteers will clean a gym equipment room, a classroom, and a kindergarten bathroom. So, kudos to whoever picks that one. And then also at the Family Center, is Nicole here? Nicole, can you stand up? There she is. At the Family Center, we will be sanding and prepping the playground equipment for kids to use in the spring. We are looking for approximately 15 volunteers of all ages to help. Families are welcome. At your table, you will find our Volunteer Center brochure. And this is how you can get signed up. This is one of the ways you can get signed up. You can sign up today, right now, by filling out the volunteer application inside the brochure. You can also sign up online at our volunteer website at volunteerinnerwisc.org and just click on the National Volunteer Week link. So again, you get a chance to use your cell phones today if you're interested in any of those volunteer opportunities, and if you're afraid someone else will get it before you do, you can just whip out your phone and sign up for it right now. Speaking of our website, I have some exciting new details to share about that too. Last December, we upgraded our account, so it is now mobile. So you can start using our website on your mobile phone. It also has some cool new features, and my favorite is the volunteer resume. Our website, volunteerinnerwisc.org, is an online database of local volunteer opportunities that are available in the community. Did you know that when you set up an account, you can opt in to receive a number of benefits? You can receive real-time volunteer needs, emailed directly to you. You can track your volunteer hours and have the agency verify it for you. Even agencies that are not available on our website, all we need is an email address. Finally, you can use those hours to create your very own volunteer resume. Here is my volunteer resume from the past 12 months. I volunteer at the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for Learning for Life Reading Mentor Program, and also for the Girl Scouts. As you can see, I volunteered a total of 42 hours, and my impact is over $900. I know this doesn't apply to all of you, but I showed the volunteer resume at a recent student job fair and talked about how volunteering can help people who are looking for a job. Volunteering helps job seekers because it helps them meet people who they can list as references and learn new skills that can be listed as experience. The volunteer resume can be used during a job interview or attached to any resumes that are emailed. I would encourage you to visit our website and check it out. Additionally, we are adding new volunteer opportunities every week, so you don't want to miss that. And now I would like to invite the mayor up to give the proclamation.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to spend the morning with all of you on a very special occasion. I find these opportunities to be very inspiring, as Angie shared, but very encouraging about the future of this community, and that's really exciting. So as a formal role that the mayor gets to play, I get to share with each of you a proclamation that I issue. So I, Mayor Zachary J. Bruing, hereby proclaim April 10th through April 16th, 2016 as National Volunteer Week here in Inner Wisconsin. It reads, I urge my fellow citizens to join the volunteer efforts in our communities by volunteering and recognizing those who serve. Volunteering promotes fellowship and unity and increases community awareness. Please join us during National Volunteer Week to make a difference in the lives of others. We saw 2 projects here this morning, so I think those are great opportunities. I also would share with you that I firmly believe that in the statement that goes something like this, that the world is run by those who show up. And I believe, in large part, the world is run by all of you who volunteer and show up. So thank you for what you do. Keep volunteering. It's something that makes our community a much better place to live, work, and raise a family. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bruwink. Finally, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Jamie Rokas. She is the Community Engagement Editor at the Daily Tribune Media. Her presentation today is entitled, Building a Community of Volunteers.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm so honored to be here this morning. When the United Way first asked me to speak at today's breakfast, I was initially very surprised and didn't really feel that I deserved the opportunity. But the more I thought about it, I felt like maybe my story of getting involved in volunteerism could inspire others and possibly assist our area's many volunteer groups in reaching out to new volunteers. Last April was my first time attending the United Way's volunteer breakfast. I attended to thank all of the volunteers who were being honored on behalf of the Daily Tribune, which sponsors this event. I had only been in my new position as Community Engagement Editor for about a month at that point, and it was a great way for me to introduce myself to the community. I had worked at the Daily Tribune and Stevens Point Journal for more than 13 years at that point, but my new role truly allowed me to get out into the community where I was born and raised, where I attended school, and where I live with my husband and daughter. Last year's volunteer breakfast was also a very eye-opening experience and truly changed my life. Until that day, I was someone who always thought about volunteering and had only on rare occasion actually participated in volunteer opportunities. I used many of the excuses that you hear from people who don't volunteer. I was too busy with work. I had to get my daughter to soccer practice. There just wasn't enough time. I was sure it was only stay-at-home moms and retired adults who were able to squeeze volunteering into their lives. But I was really wrong. After hearing about and meeting many of the volunteers at last year's breakfast, it was very clear that all of my previous beliefs on volunteer opportunities and those who volunteer were wrong. I met parents, teachers, students, retired people, and many business professionals who all found time to volunteer. Some of them, a lot of time. And I learned about the many volunteer opportunities that are available in the Wisconsin Rapids area. There is definitely something that could fulfill anyone's passions and opportunities that could fit into anyone's schedule. And when I left last year's breakfast, I immediately started looking for ways to get more involved and help out in this wonderful community. Since then, I volunteered with the United Way's Great Book Giveaway, the Stuff the School Bus Supply Distribution, a brat fry during the annual campaign Super Loop fundraiser, the Encourage Foundation's community picnic, and served as a loaned executive for this year's United Way campaign. I'm in a unique position as well, because as editor of the local newspaper, we have the ability to reach thousands of people every day through our paper, website, and social media presence. And in the past year, I've been able to reach out to our readers to help collect school supplies at the Daily Tribune office for Stuff the Bus, and Christmas gifts for children as part of the Kiwanis Toys for Tots drive. One of the projects I am most proud of this past year was collecting more than 1,000 pounds of dog food and pet supplies for the Clark County Humane Society, following a series of articles we had written about 42 dogs who were rescued in that county. This was a highlight because I'm a huge animal lover, and I was also able to get my daughter and husband on board to help deliver the supplies. And getting my 10-year-old daughter involved in volunteering is something I also strive to do, especially since that really wasn't part of my childhood. Emma loved helping purchase school supplies for the school supply drive, and she braved the cold and rain in October to help myself and coworkers rake leaves during Day of Caring. But I didn't come here today to pat myself on the back for my volunteer efforts, but instead to show you how the little push I received at last year's volunteer breakfast has changed my life. And that's what I hope you take away today. I know most of you are already avid volunteers who understand the amazing feelings that come from helping others in our community. But there is so much more that can be done to help build the community of volunteers in the Wisconsin Rapids area, and you are part of that effort. What exactly can you do? It's really simple. Next time you volunteer, consider asking a friend, coworker, or family member to join you. That may be all it takes to give you that little push to get them started. And it's always more fun and less intimidating to volunteer with someone you know. When the volunteer opportunity allows, bring your children. Instilling the need to help others at a young age is the best way to develop future volunteers. To see the look of excitement on my daughter's face when she helped deliver those pet supplies, and meet the dog she was helping, and how dedicated she was to helping the elderly gentleman whose yard we were raking, made me so proud. And it has only increased her desire to help in the community. And finally, if you are one of the many volunteer organizations in the Wisconsin Rapids area who uses and recruits volunteers, find and publicize opportunities for those who have busy schedules. Do you offer volunteer opportunities in the evenings or on weekends? Do you have tasks that volunteers can do at home as their schedule allows? Once you get them on board, you never know how their dedication and passion for your organization may develop. Now, since we have such a diverse group of volunteers here this morning, it's a great opportunity to share the message that anyone can find a volunteer opportunity that's just right for them. And we have a little project for you to share your story of volunteerism. On each of the tables, the United Way staff just handed out a bunch of yellow paper frames, and you should also have some Sharpie markers at your table. Everyone grab a frame, if you haven't already, and you'll have to share the markers. If you need additional frames, just let us know. The first thing you want to do on your frame is write your name on the top. It can be a first name, full name, nickname, whatever you want to do. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. And when you're finished writing your name on the frame, move down to the bottom of your frame and write how you identify yourself. It can be your career, editor, CEO, banker, teacher, retired person, student. It can be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, husband, wife. Include as many descriptions as you would like. Right across the bottom. And now, on the left and the right sides of your frame, write some of the volunteer opportunities that you've participated in within the last year or two. It doesn't have to be all of them. Pick your favorites, the ones that you feel most passionate about.
Projects.
On either side, both sides. It's gotta be both sides.
The things you do in the community. Like, just write your paragraph and we wrote it
You can keep working on that through the rest of the program, and at the end of the event today, Angie and some of the United Way staff and myself will be walking around and trying to get pictures of as many of you as possible with your frames to create a Faces of Volunteerism photo gallery that'll be shared on the Daily Tribune and United Way sites to show everyone in the community that anyone can find a volunteer opportunity that is perfect for them. No more excuses. Before I hand the microphone back to Angie, on behalf of myself and the Daily Tribune, I want to say thank you and congratulations to all of the amazing and dedicated volunteers who are being recognized here today. You never know how your story will impact and inspire others.
Good morning. I'm Sue Zernheld from the Lincoln High Volunteer Center, and I'm really honored to be here again this year to introduce and honor those individuals who have really made a significant impact in our community through volunteering. So I'm going to be introducing to you the individual categories today. So when you are called up, if you would please come up and receive your award and a small gift from us. And thank you to Mayor Bruing and Jamie, who will be up here handing out those awards to you. Once you receive the award, if you would please move over and have a photo taken with Travis Plowman, who's here from RCCA Media. Those photos and all the write-ups will be on the United Way website later, I'm assuming today or tomorrow morning, and that's at UWIW.org. So we will get started right away with Bill Hack, who is being honored by the American's Hero Cafe. So Bill, if you would make your way forward, please. And if you would also hold your applause until the end, it would be greatly appreciated because I'll be reading at that time when they're on their way up. Bill served in the Navy for 20 years. He opened the Heroes Cafe for veterans, law enforcement, and firefighters. The cafe is a place where these heroes can enjoy coffee and a donut with others. Bill is also the service officer at the Wisconsin Rapids VFW. Next, if we could have Maggie Molesky from the Aqua Skiers come forward.
Congratulations, Bill. Thanks.
Maggie has been the chairperson for the State Water Ski Show tournament for over 10 years. This year is the 50th anniversary and it has become the world's biggest tournament. This September, the Aqua Skiers will host the World Water Ski Tournament, welcoming teams from Australia, Belgium, Canada, China, and the US. These tournaments bring in millions of dollars to our community. Thank you, Maggie. Next we have 5 individuals actually from the Family Center. So as I call your name, if you could hold the applause until all of them have been up, that would greatly be appreciated. Warren Grismer. Warren is the Family Center's super skilled, very own Fix-It man, Mr. Fix-It. He has come in handy in many ways, from refurbishing old items to building brand new wooden shelves for the basement. There isn't a thing Mr. G can't do. He is even a great baker. Okay, I guess Warren is not here, but we'll continue with Benita Macedone. Benita, with a friendly greeting by phone or at the door, Benita has been crucial to helping to create a welcoming environment at the Family Center. Always willing to take on extra projects, her contributions have made a positive impact to both staff and clients. Next is Teresa Stutchley. Is Teresa here? Here she comes. Teresa's dedication to the Family Center is unmatched. She helps everyone with anything and everything that needs to be done. The Family Center greatly appreciates her. Next is Jessica Soot. Jessica has the driving force to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Jessica is a good listener, is patient, encouraging, compassionate, and non-judgmental, making her an invaluable asset to the Family Center in its visitation program. Pauline Walker. Pauline has been an important part of the Family Center team in various ways for many years. Always with a smile and soothing presence, Family Center is fortunate to have Pauline share her time, and she is greatly appreciated. So let's give all of them a round of applause. Thank you. Next, we have two people from the Girl Scouts of the Northwest Great Lakes. First is Barb Frazier. Barb is very organized, compassionate leader for the Cranberry Valley Girl Scout service area. Girl Scouts are lucky to call her one of its leaders. She does an excellent job providing the girls and women of this community opportunities to grow and experience new things. Next is Tammy Fuller. Tammy is a citywide troop leader for the Cranberry Valley Service Area Girl Scouts. She goes above and beyond her duties as a volunteer and leads by example. Tammy is a compassionate leader who builds girls and women of courage and confidence. Let's give a round of applause for those two, please. Next is Kim Kazuski, and she is being honored through Heartland Hospice. Kim's 2-year anniversary at Heartland Hospice is in April. Kim and her pet therapy dog, Joy, visit hospice patients who used to have pets and or love animals. Kim and Joy bring smiles and happiness to the patients during their final days and months. Next, we have Rebecca Druiski from being honored from Emmanuel Lutheran School. Rebecca has served as chairperson of the celebration auction for several years and volunteers as a room parent, helps with the script program, and serves on many committees. She finds a way to get the job done along with being a mother and wife. She sees a challenge, pushes up her sleeves, and finds time amongst the demands of life. Junior Achievements has nominated Teresa Widener. Teresa has been a Junior Achievement volunteer since 2006. To date, she has taught a total of 50 classes for JA. This year alone, she is teaching 12. Teachers know of her, love her, and request her in their classroom. Thank you, Teresa. You are a true JA hero. And I'm here to honor Paige Kubishek from Lincoln High School Volunteer Program. Paige, obviously an LHS student, has been a wonderful volunteer throughout her high school career. She has logged approximately 500 hours through the program. She has volunteered at such places as the Neighborhood Table, Rapids Recreational Soccer, Feed My Starving Children, the Kellner Night Snowmobile Club, and Jeremiah's Crossing. She has been a regular Sunday school teacher and VBS helper as well as a summer camp counselor. Next we have Selena Hansen, who is also a LHS volunteer, but has been honored by Macmillan Memorial Library. I'm sorry, say that 3 times fast. Selena volunteers for the library. She is a remarkable young person with her passion for community and for helping others. She has earned over 200 volunteer hours at the library alone in the past 3 years, an amazing effort that deserves to be recognized. Next, Meade Elementary Charter School is honoring Brenda Swan. Brenda has been a vital part of the Meade School for the past several years. She is a school mom and treasurer of the Parent-Teacher Committee. Brenda volunteers her time each month to support the school, teachers, and staff in a variety of ways. We have 4 individuals through Ministry Home Care Hospice. Carolyn Dorn is the first. Carolyn began volunteering with Ministry in 2000. She provides support and socialization to patients and their families as they take the journey towards the end of life. She visits multiple patients in a week. Her compassion, commitment, and dedication make her an invaluable member of the team. Next, we have Linda Durand. Linda has been a volunteer with Ministry for 7 years. She provides office and clerical assistance. She has excellent computer skills and is able to assist the volunteers and bereavement coordinators with computer tasks. She also organizes the bereavement mailing and leads a group of volunteers each month. Next, we have Cindy Mankey. Cindy has volunteered with Ministry since 2009. Each year, she volunteers between 50 and 100 hours. As a retired nurse manager, her real love is with the patient, providing that special presence and respect in a patient's final days. Ministry is fortunate to have Cindy as a hospice volunteer. And lastly, we have Barb Zeiker. Barb has been a volunteer with Ministry for several years. She is a member of the bereavement department. Her experience in counseling is greatly valued when volunteering as co-facilitator of the Loss of Spouse Support Group. Barb has a calm, self-confident manner working with bereaved clients that opens up trust among the support group members. We can thank them now with a round of applause. Next, we have Pat Rashevsky, who was nominated through Nakusa Public Schools. Pat is a true role model and mentor to many Nakusa students. Pat volunteers his time to help students facing everyday challenges. His interaction with students builds a positive experience for children. The students anxiously wait for Pat's arrival. You can see how engaged children become when Pat is working with them. Next, we have 2 individuals from Opportunity Development Center, or ODC, who are being honored. Joe Arts. Joe has been a great addition to the ODC team. Each week he brings new and exciting art ideas to the groups. The clients look forward to the time spent creating masterpieces with Joe. And Tim Zander. Tim is an important part of the ODC Day Services program. He's always willing to help clients with activities, join in group discussions, and play a card game. He also teaches about the German culture, world travel, and plays music for participants. So thank you to those 2 from ODC. RCCA Media, we have Milt Van Netta. Milt has been in RCCA Media since the early 1990s. After serving as the RCCA coordinator in the early years, he has since then volunteered hundreds of hours doing documentary for sporting events. Recently, Milt has also done studio interviews for the mayoral candidates in Wisconsin Rapids. And we also have Marshall Woods. Marshall comes to RCCA Media every Friday to assemble programs. He never misses a day and is always excited to be there. Marshall is also a loyal public access viewer. And our last individual, it will be Andy Gilbert from Wisconsin Rapids Community Theater. Andy joined WRCT soon after its inception in 1975 as a lighting guy and has continued to do so to this day. Andy has been on the board since 2001 and has been president since 2008. He helps wherever needed, from picking up candy bars to placing colored gels over the lights. So again, thank you to all of these individual volunteers. Next we'll have Angie, and she will be doing the group categories.
Thank you, Sue. All right, now for the group candidate or honorees. The first one is Backpack for Kids program. This program started in March 2010 with 6 Nakusa Academy students. At that time, they filled 15 to 18 backpacks with food for the weekend. The backpacks have 2 breakfasts, 2 dinners, nutritional snacks, and a $12 voucher for perishable items. Now they are filling 33 backpacks, which serve 143 people. Thank you. The next group is the Disaster Volunteer Reception Center, or VRC. The Disaster VRC mobilizes after a disaster and assists Wood County Emergency Management in the processing of spontaneous volunteers. The VRC is a valuable asset in ensuring that volunteers understand the risks of volunteering in a disaster scene. This group is also a volunteer center initiative. So it's a group of volunteers that I have the pleasure of working with. Roxanne, you can probably just stay right there. Because the next one is Grand Rapids Auxiliary Police. Sergeants Roxanne Nordbeck and Ashley Agan volunteered for the Helping Hands initiative held last holiday season. Ashley couldn't be here because she just had a baby. And I told her to bring the baby, but apparently she didn't want to. Businesses and individuals donated over $1,850, which benefited 4 families. Gifts, clothes, basic needs items, etc. were delivered on Christmas Day so they could have an enjoyable holiday. So Roxanne was nominated twice, and I have another volunteer that was nominated twice, Milt Van Netta. But this time he's accompanied with his wife Kay and mom Gail. These 3 visit Hilltop affiliates. Come on up. These 3 visit Hilltop affiliates weekly to provide church services for their residents. They offer a song service, a brief message and prayer, which residents really enjoy. Hilltop Affiliates is grateful for their willingness to serve the community in this way. We have 3 groups nominated by Humke Elementary School. The first is the Learning for Life Reading Mentor Program. These volunteers devote many hours every week to instill successful early literacy skills within the students. Are there any Learning for Life volunteers from Meade School here today? Yeah. Or Humke, I'm sorry, Humke? These volunteers listen to students as they read books. Special relationships are formed between the mentors and the children. Reading mentors allow students to work towards their full potential while staying engaged and excited about learning. And the next one is Humke Involved Parent Organization, or HIPPO. This is a group of volunteers dedicated to providing students with tools to a better education. These members put in a ton of time, whether it is for monthly family fun nights, the annual holiday basket raffle, or the Scholastic Book Fair. And then the last group is actually a couple. It's Paul and Sandy Jeltema. Paul and Sandy are 2 of the most loyal volunteers at Humke School. No matter what the weather or activities planned, Paul and Sandy show up with a smile on their face and dive into the world of kindergarten. We also have 3 honoree groups from Lincoln High School. The first one is the 2015-2016 Lincoln High School Key Club. These volunteers have participated in over 20 service projects this year and raised thousands of dollars for charitable organizations. These leaders continue to work tirelessly to find ways to improve the community. And here they are. The next group is Name It, Claim It, Stop It. This group of students focus on empowering students to stand up against bullying. They do presentations for the sophomore English classes and all 4th and 5th graders. And finally, the Lincoln High School Student Council has been going to Opportunity Development Center, or ODC, for several years. They volunteer on the work floor and day services program. On the work floor, they assist clients with jobs. In day services, they help with computer activities, games, and socialize with clients. Now at Mead Elementary School, the Learning for Life Reading Mentors. At Mead School, there are 35 reading mentors. Today we have a handful of them with us today, who volunteer weekly with students. They are building relationships, building confidence, and sharing the importance of literacy. Next is Port Edwards Elementary School, the Morning Reading Volunteers. Are they here today? All right. These volunteers, Port Edwards Elementary School offers a free program every morning before school. Parents drop off students and volunteers read and lead activities. 2 volunteers also bring therapy dogs for the students to read to. You didn't bring your dogs with you? We have 3 groups from RCCA Media. The first is a couple, Vern and Dolores Becker. Vern and Dolores help by filming Cowboy Union Jam and polka music in the summer. RCCA Media is happy they are able to meet people through volunteering. Next is the Lincoln High School Wrestling Producers. Every year, Scott Tesh, Louis Bennett, and Craig Tim and the Lincoln High School wrestling managers volunteer their time to film all the Lincoln High School wrestling matches. They travel the state and bring you the entire season, play-by-play. And finally, we have Art and Marcy Napgetzik. Art and Marcy film and produce Assumption High School boys and girls basketball games in 2015 and 2016. Are the Napgetzik here? Next, we have the volunteer table, or the neighborhood table, and a couple, Jim and Barb Dunn. I know Jim is here, but Barb couldn't be here today. She was actually nominated 3 times today. She volunteers for Literacy Council, she's on the Disaster Volunteer Reception Center, and also she volunteers for a neighborhood table. So we're kind of sad that she wasn't able to make it today. Jim is a dishwasher and fills in wherever needed. The kids call him Grandpa. Barb is in charge of the to-go program and bakery pickup and schedules volunteers. She also provides lift operators for handicapped guests. Vesper Community Academy, PSO. These volunteers help with fundraising, classroom activities, family nights, all-school events, and so much more. And last but not least, the Wood County Master Gardeners Association. Master Gardeners maintain gardens at over 30 locations. They also host educational events each year. This past year, they volunteered 7,393 hours. What an amazing group of volunteers. Thank you to all of you, honorees, and the agencies who nominated them.
As we wrap up this morning, we just have a few thank yous to extend. First and foremost to the Daily Tribune Media and the Gannett Foundation for sponsoring this morning's breakfast. Thank you to the Volunteer Center Task Force for assisting with today's event and Bullseye Country Club for hosting. And to United Way of Inter-Wisconsin's Board of Directors for the support of the Volunteer Center. So a round of applause for all of them, please. And also to RCCA Media for videotaping our event, which will be available on demand for viewing, Solaris Channel 3 or Charter Channel 985, or on their website. You'll be able to pull it up and watch from your tablet or your computer. So thank you, a big thank you to Travis Plowman from RCCA Media for setting up a little photo booth. So if you want to come up with your frames when you're done, he'll take some pictures or a short video about volunteering. And thanks for all the photos while the awards were being received. We also would like to know your thoughts about today's program. So there is a little evaluation form that you can fill out if you'd like a paper form. Otherwise, on the back of your program, there is a QR code that you can scan with your smartphone to fill out, give us some feedback about today's program. There are some paper copies out at the registration table if you'd prefer that way. And now as we wrap up, we have a few prizes to give away. I'd like to thank Jen Massfall. She's just rotating around one more time. If you have that little postcard with your name filled out, make sure it gets in the bag so that we can do that drawing.
Do you want to do the drawing?
Sure.
Mine.
I'd like to win a round of golf. Maybe it's
Just give her a minute to collect the cards. If you still have a card to be picked up, if you could just hold it up and help her out so she can zip by and grab that. Okay, I think we have all the cards now. So I'm going to ask Jen to hold the bag, and then the mayor could maybe pull out the first one will be for a foursome of golf here at Bullseye Country Club.
this one, small print. Pretty good handwriting.
Marge Coots. Congratulations. And then we'll have the mayor just draw out 3 more cards since we have the 3 floral displays up here on the table, and then you can come up and pick those up after. Barbara Tork. Sandra Robinson, and Jessica Suit. So congratulations to all of them. Now, just to close up, this is our last little activity that we have, but the Lincoln High School Volunteer Center program put together the centerpieces that you see on the table, on each of your tables. And so we are going to have, those are to be given away today. So we need one person at the table to actually hang on to that vase. So somebody take that middle centerpiece and hang on to that. And we are going to do, we're going to do a little game to see who gets to take that home. So it's a right-left game, so you need to listen. So it should be in your hand. And you're going to pass it. When I say right, it goes to your right. When I say left, it goes to your left, okay? So does this everybody has one, right? Okay, here we go. Mr. Right and Mrs. Right and the two Wright children rushed right out their front door into their car. "I'm so excited to be going shopping," said Mrs. Wright. "I have so much shopping left to do." "I don't have a lot left to do," said Mr. Wright, as he backed right out of their driveway and turned left. "But I do enjoy coming along." "Us too," called the two Wright children. The Wright family arrived at the mall right at what appeared to be the same time as the entire town. Mr. Wright turned right down one lane and left onto another. He couldn't find a single parking spot left to park in. "Well," started Mrs. Wright, "since there appears to be no parking left, maybe we should go right back home right now." Mr. Wright agreed and turned right to head right back home. Mrs. Wright continued, "I guess all the shopping that I have left to do will have to wait until another day." Mr. Wright drove the car back into the driveway and parked the car right where he had left from only a few minutes before. "Yay, we are home. We can go right back to where we left off on our video game," cried the Wright children. And they ran right into the house and left their parents to close their car doors. What else is new, right? So whoever's holding the vase takes it home. So thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for the time that you give to your community. Please take your frames, snap a few pictures, take your M&Ms, enjoy your afternoon, and we appreciate you. Thank you.